What's up, everybody? Richard back today with another episode of the Warped Report. And hey, listen, I usually like to do a little bit of a rundown of kind of the stuff that we're going to be talking about this week, but there is quite a bit of news to talk about. Nothing that's too crazy or world-breaking, but there is a lot of stuff to kind of go over. So I want to dive right into it right now, and then also talk about the Browning record at the tail end of this as well. So let's just jump right in, man. I don't want to waste any more time. First up, this was kind of an interesting kind of thing that happened a few days ago, but Whitechapel drummer 𝗧𝗛𝗪 has quit the band. So as you recall, we covered it here, but Whitechapel had announced that 𝗧𝗪 was the new drummer for the band. He was in promo pictures and all that, but he has quit because, quote, a number of things didn't seem right, both professionally and personally. And this, to me, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I know we have a lot of stuff to talk about, so I kind of want to I want to make this as condensed as possible. But it's weird to me for a guy to be like, oh, I was never officially in the band, but, I was part of the promo pictures, and I know he did the album, and that's not out of the ordinary, but he was in the promo pictures, and, they announced him as a member, and then, he goes into it and he says, it's extremely unprofessional for artists to kind of disclose these types of things, and then he goes, but I'll just say this. I don't know, man, this is very weird. To me, this sounds like a patented case of monetary compensation, because I know that Alex is very involved with other projects, so I'm sure that there is something involved monetarily here as to how this came about. But either way, 𝗧𝗛𝗪 is no longer in Whitechapel, and they will be moving on. Next up, we have the Welcome to Rockville 2022 lineup has been announced. Some headliners that we've already discussed here on the show previously: Guns N' Roses, Foo Fighters, Kiss, and Korn. But then there's been, the dates that are actually going to be, doing the show. There, we have May 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And some bands that really kind of stuck out to me when I was looking through this roster. On the 19th, Thursday the 19th, we have Mood Ring, which is kind of like a rock band from Florida. It actually features Kalen, the bass player for 𝗧𝗛𝗪. Tetrarch, a band that I've actually played with in the past, really fun, upcoming new metal band. You move over to the 20th here, we have bands like In Flames, that'll be pretty cool, Parkway Drive, Don Broco. And then the 21st, you have bands like Alexis on Fire. I thought that was pretty surprising. And then finally on the 22nd, you have Spirit Box. So lots of really cool, a mix of up-and-coming bands mixed with some legendary acts as well. Next up, Turnstile are going to be appearing on the late night show, Late Night with Seth Meyers. So that's really cool. Turnstile, obviously, kind of they're making hardcore really fun. I've not heard their entire discography by any stretch, but I have heard enough that I can listen to these guys, and I'm like, man, this is a fun band. And yeah, they're going to be the musical guest on this week's episode, actually, of Late Night with Seth Meyers. It'll be on Wednesday, December 15th. And at the time of this recording, it is Monday, December 13th. So make sure if you're watching this right when this episode comes out that you check them out. I think that'll be really, really cool, and I'm sure there'll be clips of them on YouTube as well. But yeah, that's a really cool accomplishment for our scene and also for Turnstile. Next up, we got a short run here, it looks like, with Code Orange, Loathe, Machine Girl, and Dying Wish. Now, there's only 3 dates here. There could be more, but right now all we have are 3 dates, and we have April 23rd in Vegas at 24 Oxford, April 29th in Jacksonville, Florida at the Underbelly, and May the 4th be with you in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at Union Transfer. So that's really cool. That's a pretty cool tour. You have Code Orange. Started out hardcore, and they're kind of going a little bit more industrial-ish, new metal-ish. You have Loathe, who are like one of the most unique, up-and-coming big metalcore bands. You have Dying Wish, who are, doing that old-school metalcore, hardcore feel. And I've honestly never heard of Machine Girl, so I cannot really comment on that group, unfortunately. But let's move on to another tour here. 𝗧𝗛𝗪 and �eskimo Callboy co-headlining U.S. tour. This is not going to be for a while, but, it's going off in October of 2022 and going through November the 5th, 2022. And the closest date to me is Brooklyn, New York, actually the final date, and I may have to make the trip, because seeing �eskimo Callboy live, how they've, blown up on the internet with Hypa Hypa and now their most, recent track, Push It. This is a band that's going to be a lot of fun to see, especially with 𝗧𝗛𝗪. Another tour, which I'm actually considering going to myself: Motionless in White, Black Veil Brides, and Ice Nine Kills. The Trinity of Terror tour. This is also going to be happening in 2022, of course, and it'll be from March the 17th through April the 27th. And of course, the closest date to me is Portland, Maine at the Cross Insurance Arena. So that'll be a really nice platform, especially for a band like 𝗧𝗛𝗪 𝗪𝗘, who have gotten a lot bigger, especially as of recently. But this will not be uncommon for Black Veil Brides, and Motionless in White is also one of those bands too that will fit really. It'll be really cool to see in an arena like this. But they're probably slightly above 𝗧𝗛𝗪 in popularity overall, but I think it's probably a lot closer than it was when I saw them both together, years ago before the Silver Scream ever even came out. But next up, let's talk about Enterprise Earth. They just put out a new track called Legends Never Die. Fun, kind of more symphonic deathcore elements in that one. I prefer some of the other singles, but it was still really cool. But they've also fired their bass player, 𝗧𝗛𝗪, if I'm pronouncing that right, 𝗧𝗛𝗪𝗡. I'm not exactly sure. And while we do not know the exact details, Lambgoat lines it out for us here. It says, details surrounding his departure haven't been disclosed, but he's removed from the group earlier this fall, purportedly following allegations of unseemly behavior. So he was, removed and then ultimately fired, as you could probably expect. Next up, we got Spite. They are back following their record, The Root of All Evil, which, I liked, but I definitely had some complaints with the production. But this one now, they're working with, I know that my guy, Matt Thomas of Ashtone Audio, who is responsible for, mixing the Darko US stuff. He mixed this song, and it's their first song with Rise Records, and it's called Made to Please. And let me just tell you this, man. This song is angry. If you want an angry track, this is the one you got to check out. Spite, Made to Please. I did a reaction for it on my channel. If you've not heard it yet, you've got to check it out. Super heavy, super pissed. I mean, let's just put it that way. Let's go back to another tour here. We got Beartooth, Silverstein, The Devil Wears Prada, and Era. Very cool tour. This is the Below Tour Part 2. This is going to be stretching from March the 26th through May the 3rd. And as you'll see here, there's a couple shows near me, which I'm kind of excited about. I may check this one out. I'm definitely a fan of Era. I haven't really been that too big into Devil Wears Prada, but Silverstein has some hits, and Beartooth is always a fun, energetic show. So that's another really cool tour that's been announced. And now, this is just the tour show, man. I'm telling you, because we got another small run for those of you in Quebec. We have Comeback Kid with Boundaries. That's a really cool little bill there. It's stretching from March the 21st through March the 26th in Quebec. We got shows in Sherbrooke, Drummondville, 𝗧𝗛𝗪, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it, Rivieres, I don't know, Quebec City and Montreal. So if you're in that neck of the woods, literally the woods, because it's Canada, check that out. AngelMaker, they've released 2 new tracks titled Exit Signs and a B-side track called The Wait. I've only heard Exit Signs, but AngelMaker always delivers, man. These guys got energy. They have like 15 different members, and 14 of them can do vocals. It is just, there's so many dynamics to their music that they're a lot of fun. My guy Johnny Chardulo, who's also the vocalist for Carcosa, is one of the guitar players in the band, and he also does a little bit of vocals as well, especially in this track here, Exit Signs. So make sure you check out that track. And finally, the last bit of news here before we talk about the Browning album, very, very briefly, because I try to keep these shows as short and concise as possible while also delivering to you as much content as possible. Knocked Loose has announced the tour, headlining spring tour with Kublai Khan, Movements, and Koyo. Now, I know Movements is a little bit kind of more soft, because that's going to be an interesting kind of, it's going to be interesting. You're going to go from Kublai Khan to kind of mellow it out, and then I think that's actually kind of a cool tour construction for the bands, but for a crowd member, it's going to be interesting as well. Because you have Koyo, I'm not familiar with it, straight up. I don't know anything about Koyo, but Kublai Khan is pissed. Movements is more kind of melancholic, and then you have Knocked Loose, which is going to be awesome. But this stretches from March 31st to May the 8th. And, look at this right here. We got shows at Fet Music Hall near me. I mean, look at this. I love looking at these tours because I love it when the shows come near me. I like to go to some of these when I can, especially if they're at venues that I know that I can take my son to, because, he really has enjoyed getting into this style of music. But Let's make myself full screen here again. Let's talk about the Browning record, okay? End of Existence. I gave it a 72%, man. I was a little bit disappointed with it. I love the Browning. I've been a big fan of them for years and years, but this one, to me, a lot of the songs kind of felt the same. We had a lot of what I like to call the kick drum transition tool. We had a lot of that. I don't know, a lot of the songs just seemed kind of drawn out. A lot of the same kind of vibe. It's like once you get to track 8 or 9, it's like, we get it. You know, it's kind of ominous. It's kind of spooky. We get it. But to me, it just really didn't click with me. It didn't resonate with me as much as their last record, Geist, or previous records. And, you know, it's too bad because I went into it and I was very, very excited. But hey, listen, if you're out there and you like the new Browning record, all the more power to you. But I gave it a 72%, with the song Death Rap, I think, being amongst my favorites. And that was actually probably the shortest song at under 3 minutes. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you all watching. This was a very, I felt like I talked nonstop, so I apologize if I went too fast, but there was a lot of things I wanted to talk about, as well as that new Browning record at the tail end. So what do you guys think of the whole Alex Rudinger controversy with Whitechapel? What do you think of that? Welcome to Rockville. Are you going to be going to that show? Turnstile, you're going to tune in live, or you're going to wait for the YouTube clips? Code Orange, you're going to go to that tour. You're going to go to the Eskimo Cowboy tour. You're going to go to the Motionless in White Ice Nine Kills Black Veil Brides tour. Are you going to go to the Beartooth Silverstein Devil Wears Prada era tour? Are you going to go to the Comeback Kid Boundaries tour? Are you going to go to Knocked Loose? Have you heard the new AngelMaker? Have you heard the new Spite? Have you, I don't even know. What else do we got here? Oh, Enterprise Earth. You heard the new Enterprise Earth? Let me know all that stuff down in the comments below. I also want to hear your thoughts on the new Browning record. Like I said, I gave it a 72%, among my lowest that I've given this year. But let me know all your thoughts down below. I love hearing from you guys in the comment section. I love interacting with you. So until next time, this has been the Warped Report with me, Richard Janvrin, here on the Out of Line YouTube channel. You guys take care. Have a great week, and I will see you back here, same time, same channel. Peace.